Mic check, mic check. All right, man, let's go. Let's get this started. Where you at?
We're rolling on 3.
Okay. Dude, what is this? What are you wearing?
You said we're filming today, so I'm dressed like Parzival for Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're not filming a movie. We're just showing what we've been up to.
What do you want? You know who I am. You know what you signed up for.
All right, dude, just sit down. Let's get a mic check on you.
Welcome to Business Impacting the Space Coast, the podcast keeping you in the know on small business in Brevard County. Business Impacting the Space Coast is sponsored by Ideal Impact Media, your partner in video marketing and brand storytelling.
All right, that's looking good. And I think it's sounding good.
Oh, yeah. What are you wearing, though? Let's see. You're making fun of what I'm wearing.
Yeah, this is what I wear when I see clients so that they think that I'm a respectable human being, a business professional.
You dress like everyone else.
Yeah, that's it. So what have we been up to other than this cacophony of action?
Well, we've been filming all day.
That's true. But the last quarter, 2019, the second year of Ideal Impact Media.
It's true because I quit my job the very first day of 2018.
Yeah.
That was a full year of doing only video production for a living, partnering up with you, going on this crazy journey. And the first year went really good, and we made some work that I'm really proud of, that I had a lot of fun with. And when I look back on that, I'm already like nostalgic for, like our earlier commercials, like the one we did for Wayne Anthony Insurance, or the Palm Reader, the paint suit guy, what we did for East Coast Irrigation, brown spots, and on to meat sweats. I watched the paint suit commercial for like the first time in like a few months and got to really see it. Like
Fresh eyes.
Yeah, because when you make something, you're seeing all that, you're seeing what's under the hood because you put it there.
Yeah.
But when I watched it, and I didn't mean to watch it either. Like I was going through folders and it came up and I decided to let it play. So it was like I wasn't expecting to see it. And I watched it, and I laughed out loud. I lulled at when he grabbed his face. Maybe you can edit that in real quick, just that shot.
Yeah, and you immediately said, Trevor, we have to run this again. This is so amazing.
I grabbed you by your big head, man. Across the desk, I said, Trevor, let's pump this back out again because it's legitimately funny, and we loved it. And even some of our friends in the industry, Colin. Call it for him, who when we've done other comedy things, he's always like, yeah, comedy's hard, kind of like, better luck next time. But he never made that comment about that one. The comedy worked on all levels.
And then we have future pieces coming out that are going to call back that character, right? So we're excited.
That's true. So yes, we have the second part, and the paint suit guy is making kind of a cameo appearance. He's not going to be an on-screen persona, but he's going to be referenced heavily. You might even see him. So that's why it just inspired me to bring back to continue the campaign for Keenan Painting. It's gonna be great. And we are doing that. We're trying to circle back for, advertising isn't just one and done, So we're trying to take these things, these seeds that we've planted with these clients, and take these characters to the next level. An example that we always like to call back to is like Flo, like the Geico Lizard. Like they didn't just do that once.
Right, the brand character has been put in multiple situations where the viewer, the possible future customer or prospect, gets to create more of a connection.
That's right.
And so the marketing really takes viewers and puts them in different situations, which creates a more interesting journey and exposure. And for us, it's more storytelling, right? Even if it's something funny or ridiculous.
That's right. So basically continuing the story and developing the characters a little bit further, but more importantly, driving home that brand recognition for the client. Getting people to share that on Facebook, getting people laughing. So when they think like, oh, it's time to paint my home or something like this, they remember, oh, you remember that funny thing with the paint suit exploded? What was that again? It was Keenan Painting. And now maybe they've seen that again, or maybe even a third time in the future, they're going to see that character come back again. They're going to be able to draw back on that in their memory and hire the right guy for the job. Yeah.
And it's definitely unique. There's really not a lot of people, especially in this county, taking advantage of telling stories in that way and creating funny things that actually develop. So revisited stuff from last year. You were mentioning your journey as you quit your job. January 1st, we were official. 2018, myself put in my resignation September of 2018. My last day was December 31st, 2018. So 2019 is the year of Ideal Impact Media.
It's the year of Trevor too, because it's your first full year.
It's my first full year.
Full calendar year if you count from
That's
the
true.
first day of the year to the last day, like I did for 18.
Yeah.
And you touched on something, you mentioned Brevard County in the last thing you said.
Yeah.
And one thing that always drives me a little bit nuts is we're talking to people about commercials, advertising. You said not a lot of people are taking advantage in Brevard. And there's kind of that saying like, well, this is Brevard. Well, this is just Brevard. This is Brevard. This is where we live. This is where, we love. I don't want people to say it's just Brevard. Like, I want to do good work here in Brevard, bring Brevard up. And it's really a great time for people that aren't doing that because, like you said, there aren't people taking advantage of it. So if you're the one guy that is, well, you're automatically ahead of the pack. And you won't. That's not going to be forever. That chance is now and maybe not, in a couple of years. A lot of people, video is becoming more accessible. We've talked about that before, how the productions were able to pull off and the budgets that would have been, 10 times higher 10 years ago, we're doing. The chance to be the front runner is now. It's not going to be in a few years.
That's true. Just because everyone's not doing it doesn't mean it's not a good idea, especially if they're just not doing it locally.
Right. Well, they are doing it. I mean, you watch the Super Bowl, every major company's
Right.
got a Super Bowl style commercial because they can afford it. And, they pump that stuff out. And not only can they afford to do it once, but, they're continuing these campaigns throughout the whole year.
They're committed and invested in it. They understand the return. And it's scary for local or small businesses sometimes to say, where's this going to go? What's going to happen with it? How do I know I'm getting my return on it? But, the truth is now is the best time ever to invest in marketing, especially on the video side. The cost is coming down. The distribution side is becoming easier and more accessible every single day. And the more you wait, the more your competitors are getting ahead of you. And, that's just innovation in business in general. So it's a good point.
The benefit that crosses over just, hey, this is a video, I can watch this on Facebook, I put this on my website. The search engines are now mining the stuff that's said in the video. It's going to help your website. It's going to help your rankings on Google. It's going to help everything if you know the certain tweaks that you need to do when you upload the video. There's certain things that, if you're in the know and you know what's going on, that you can take advantage of and that we've been helping our clients with along the way.
Yeah. And so that's all the technical stuff, the business stuff, the hardcore marketing. Let's talk a little bit more about the creative. What are the plans for 2019, 2020? Where's Ideal Impact Media headed? I think people want to know that. So I want to hear your thoughts on it.
That's what they're wondering?
That's what they're wondering.
Where are we going? So obviously, what I said before, we want to continue some of our early campaigns. We want to bring those up. We want to also talk to new businesses that want to start to take advantage of what we just talked about, how video is going to help them out, how Brevard is going to grow into that. So it's not going to be that it's just Brevard mentality anymore. It's going to be, this is Brevard. All right, we're serious over here.
And you already have some ideas. You already have some really great stuff. We just need to find the right clients that are going to fit.
It's true. I have a really hilarious idea for a plumbing company.
Yeah.
Great, funny Super Bowl style commercial.
Yeah.
We just haven't found we haven't really, to be fair, we haven't gone out and talked to a lot of plumbers either.
Yeah.
We really develop close relationships with our clients. Like we had Christy with Wayne Anthony just here just a minute ago. And most of the time we spent with her was just social. Like we completed the work we needed to do to help her on her path. But these are our friends. They become our friends. So, the right plumber is going to have to be somebody that fits that. They're going to come in. We don't want to just sell it to anybody. We want to make sure that they're committed and they see the vision and they want to grow.
It's true. We're always on the lookout for good local businesses. We're starting to do some other product type stuff. And we're mixing in some still photography with our work. And there's always the high-end wedding side. This year we did our first Indian wedding.
That's true. Which those are a lot of work.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of color and there's a lot of flavor because their food is amazing. We ate so much Indian food that I missed it after the wedding.
Yeah,
it says their wedding is 4 days long.
Yeah, that was quite an experience. Looking forward to doing that more in the future, but it's just about continuing to push the envelope, trying new things, expanding new techniques, and not getting comfortable, right? I mean, always trying to tackle new challenges.
And that's right. So if you remember, it was over a year ago now that we did our first same-day edit at a wedding.
Yep.
And it was something we didn't even know if we could do. So we didn't. It was a surprise that we did for the bride. We were saying, we're going to try this. You know, since it's a surprise, if it doesn't work out, we just don't tell her. She doesn't know a thing about it.
Right.
But if we do it, oh, man.
It'd be legends.
Right, and we did do it. And I think I did, you know, several same-day edits, you know, or quite a few actually.
Yeah.
Then you got the idea of maybe I should try
Maybe
one.
I should give it a shot. And I think I've done 2 now? 1? I can't remember.
No, you
now.
did one that was the same arrangement. Like you said, you know, I'm going to try this because you hadn't done one. And even though we're both in the same, we're both video production. It's you and me. We're Ideal Impact Media. It's just Trevor and Austin. I edit on Final Cut and you edit on Adobe Premiere.
Mm-hmm.
And Final Cut does kind of lend itself to maybe moving a little bit quickly on something like a same-day edit. Whereas, you know, there's a little bit more depth sometimes in the Adobe Premiere. At least some people feel that way. But without the magnetic timeline and stuff, it could take longer. So we didn't even know. But you did it. And then we did another same-day edit that you edited. So now we've both proven that we can do a same-day edit at a wedding. And it's amazing. People can't believe it. I was just talking to one of our brides. There was at the Grand Manor that we did a same-day edit, and I just ran into them, and they're like, people are still talking about that. They couldn't believe it. They thought we were about to show a slideshow, and they were all like, are you out of your heads? And then they saw what we did, and they're like, oh.
Yeah, it's an experience.
Because we're that good. Oh. Yeah. No, but it worked out, and the people were happy. And, you know, a wedding video is something that a lot of brides, they really want.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe they don't even express how much they want it because they know it might be out of the budget, or, you know, they want to talk to, you know, their fiance or mom or dad or whatever and be like, hey, yeah, we're getting the photos, we're getting this, but, you know, that's something of great desire to them. And that puts the pressure on us to make sure that we give that to them what they want. Yeah. And, you know, they've watched our stuff. They know, you know, if they come to us that we do what they want and we're the style they want. We do have that benefit because we're kind of on the higher price as far as weddings go, because they're not coming to us for price. We just can eliminate that.
Right.
Not that we're super expensive either, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do. And I usually handle a lot of the inbound stuff with brides through our Facebook and other places. And, you know, the first question is always, have you had a chance to look at our work? And is that something you really strongly want? Because we have a style. It's definitely not we're just going to cover your wedding. We are really trying to tell a story and create a lifelong experience that you can enjoy with your children and your family. That's our level of quality, our standard. And that's where it started, especially, you know, with you. And then I came on board to do weddings with you. And there's just a certain threshold of resources and costs that comes with that. As much as I tell brides, if we're not a perfect fit for you, that's fine. But we just want to make sure that you have footage of your wedding, because you're going to regret it. If you don't have a wedding video, you're going to look back. It could be the next day. It could be years later, because you don't have really video of your wedding. I don't have video of my wedding. And it was different 10 years ago when we got married to our wives. It wasn't as easy, but, you know, nowadays there's no reason that you can't have the type of video that you can afford of the biggest day, you know, in your life. So
yeah, you're exactly right. Like, it was a big regret for us to not do that. And what I always tell brides is like, hey, or even grooms or mothers of, you know, parents of, that, hey, you know, I don't care if I win the lottery tomorrow. It doesn't matter if it's $1 million. I can't pay to have a video of those 22-year-old kids that were getting married 11 years ago now. It's just not in the cards. You can't do it unless somebody builds a time machine or something. But and then going back to what you said a second ago about, you know, hey, if we're a good fit, we may not be. That's just, you know, you may just want footage. You asked me, like, hey, where are we going? Who do we want to talk to? What are we doing? traditionally in the business, I've been like, very technical and creative as far as like, finding the correct lighting setup. You kind of have been the one who's had his hand on the wheel. You've been at the helm as far as the direction of the business. So maybe that would be a better question for you.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of ideas of things that, my big passion is obviously creating great product, great media, but it's also about really driving results and being able to continue to build relationships with awesome businesses and finding new ways to help them. So the first things we started with were, hey, Trevor, hey, Austin, maybe somebody we knew, just asking us, I think I need video in my business. Can you help me? And we did that with our start with a handful of businesses. Now it's, because we're both full-time, it's us being able to actually reach out and find possible new clients, but it's also branching out into ways that we can help businesses beyond just make a video, put it on the internet, okay? Because we know, especially from what we've seen when we have done that, is distribution is key. We really have to have a plan and a strategy for not just creating something that looks and sounds and has a great story. We have to have a plan of how we're going to get it out and how ultimately there's going to be a return on investment. And there are so many things, especially on the media production side, that are timeless. And, really understanding lighting and storytelling and proper techniques, technical stuff, while it's endless to learn those things. And I'm not going to say they're static, but they're not changing necessarily super quickly, but us being able to master them, it takes time. On the other side, the distribution, reaching clientele, actually being able to create conversion, that stuff changes so fast, but it's an area that I really want us to continue to branch out to. At the very least, we need to understand it because it does shape the way that we tell stories and create some of these elements. But we're starting to partner with so many awesome agency sides, as well as individuals and even in-house marketing people for as the businesses get bigger, they have those people in-house. So we may do the production side, they're going to do the distribution, but we need to have a strong understanding of that. And I've taken on more and more of that, and I'm excited with where it's headed because I just see so much opportunity, and it's going to continue to evolve very quickly. And then, taking on new people to help us out. The conversation I keep having is, yes, we may be, at least from our perspective, near or at the top of the game when it comes to being able to technically create great video production in this county and at a very affordable price. However, I want us to continue to elevate that, and I want us to be able to continue to take on leadership roles even beyond that and bring up people, whether it's interns, whether it's new employees, bring them up to where we are and continue to move on, because you can't go to the moon with just 2 people. You need a whole team to do that.
That's right. So everything you said is like spot on. Even going back to, like you said, the fundamentals, I guess is what we could call it when you were talking about the things that don't change, like the lighting and this and that. And you said they don't, they change, but they don't. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is like, yeah, where you put a light and how you light a face or how you light a scene doesn't change. What changes there is the technology. And that's stuff that, the end user of the people that are getting our videos, they don't need to know. It's just, hey, we can run this light now with, a tenth of the power it would have taken to do the same light 10 years ago. So, it doesn't get hot because it's LEDs. That kind of stuff changes. But, where you put it, how you craft the scene, how you write the script, all that stuff is what you were really referring to when you say, hey, these are the fundamentals, these don't change. On the flip side of that, you said there is some stuff that is highly volatile, that changes all the time. Search engine algorithms. I don't know if it changes every day, but it feels like it. Yeah. There's people working on it at this very moment as we're recording this. What Facebook uses to determine what's going to show up in your news feed and how many times and how frequently and from which of your friends or groups you're members of, all that stuff is changing all the time. And if you're spending all your time learning that, you're probably not learning lighting. You're not learning filmmaking. So that's why we partner with those people you're talking about, that it is their job to understand that. And then they come to us and say, okay, now we understand the search engine. We understand our client's business model, where they need to go, and who their clients are. Now we can make this video. Here's a couple of key points that the video needs to hit, and we need it to look really professional, really great. And then they'll take it, distribute it, like you said, with all of those search engine, all that stuff in mind, all that stuff under the hood. That's not my forte. Obviously, you know more about that than I do. But just to take it from you, the super smart person about it, to me, the less so smart, maybe I can give it to the people that know nothing about it. I'll explain it like a 4-year-old.
Exactly.
Because that's how I understand it.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to speak the language with that other group. But, business is all about having strengths and not necessarily trying to make everything your strength. It's about having relationships and partners to be able to do great things. And that's how everything great has happened. It's not been one person, just like we talked about, can't go to the moon by yourself.
And some of my strengths are, weaknesses of yours, and some of your strengths are weaknesses of mine. So it just makes sense that, hey, we were both really, really good at lighting, and we got together, and nobody was good at what. Okay, well, it's gonna be lit, great, but who's gonna see it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's great that and it's not that either of us are really slouches on the other stuff. It just kind of ebbs and flows with who's good at what, and where and when.
Yeah.
And why.
You don't completely neglect it, but being passable at certain tasks and being great at others.
I think it's important that even though I may be weak on, let's say, search engine algorithms, and say you're weak on, exactly how to light a scene, you'll refer to me. You know enough about it, and I know enough about the other to communicate the importance of it. Mm-hmm. So, for instance, I'm talking to a client that's interested in just how good the video looks. Well, I still need to know enough about it to communicate, like, okay, well, it's also important that people see this, and there's a couple of things with the search engine. We want to also select your clientele, the appropriate people, geofence it so it's in the right area. And, I need to be able to communicate that to people if you're not around, so that they understand why it's important. Even if I couldn't implement it completely alone, I'd have to, then you would come in, but you may not always be right there to do that. And the same thing where somebody's talking to you, they might say, hey, I want this. The videos need to be great. I just need to make sure the right people see it. And we've got all these great social media presence. So they might have that in, but you need to understand lighting enough to explain to them, well, you don't want to shed yourself in a negative light. You want to make sure it's professional, especially if it's somebody like a doctor or a lawyer or something, like, hey, this is going on your website. So you've got to explain the importance. You've got to be knowledgeable enough to do that. And to be honest, it's not that you're knowledgeable enough to even do it. So it's just that I have a little bit more of a background in that. Like I said, it ebbs and flows who's in command of what.
I think for our first quarter update, and really our first year in business update, this was a lot. I don't know if there's any other topics you wanted to cover, but I think, I don't know, do our guests want to see more of these updates, or is this super boring and no one got through it?
I thought this was for me.
You thought it was good for you?
I thought it was for me to watch later.
Okay. So, it's not a bad idea.
Just like to kind of find out, like, hey, do I sound like a complete...
I could have told you that.
Yeah. Well, you had... Well, and you look like a complete...
Yeah.
Maybe where's your... You need to... See, that's the thing.
You need a costume.
I need to bring up maybe some articulation points. So you get a little bit more articulate, a little bit. Get my points dialed in a little bit better, the way you always have that super clean presentation, but you need to bring up the presentation a little bit.
Game.
Yeah, like.
Well, I did put on one performance as Danzig, so I was in costume for that, but I'm looking forward to future.
I wish you could have been in the room when I saw that on Facebook. It blew my mind. I'm like, he's finally getting it.
Finally, I'm getting ready.
We're going to MegaCon, so.
That's true. So I need to.
If you're not wearing a costume at MegaCon. Like, I'm wearing a costume right now. It's ridiculous and hilarious because I'm in an office.
Because it's just a day.
So I'm out of place. It's Casual Friday.
It's a day that ends in Y.
So so I'm the weird guy now. But at MegaCon, the guy not wearing a costume
is the weird
guy.
That's
when so see, you would be out of place there, pal.
Okay, so but that's like 10 weeks from now.
I gotta get ready.
I think I can be ready by then.
So if you dialed in a costume for MegaCon?
I have a few options. I'm open to suggestions. So if people want to just say, hey, you should totally do this.
We tossed around Johnny Cage.
Johnny Cage is on the list.
Maverick from Top Gun.
But specifically the volleyball scene.
Because I was gonna do it with you. So
Yeah,
we need to practice some volleyball.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're not going to actually be playing, but if we show up to play volleyball, they play a lot of volleyball near my house in jeans.
They'll know. And aviator sunglasses, and flex when you check your watch.
Yeah, you got to really like flex it. So I think, yeah, I mean, I can prepare for those roles. But if there's any other suggestions, I'm open to it. We got some time. Okay. Hoping to take the wife and kids for a day or so.
Anyone watching this, if you can think of a costume for that Trevor would pull off great for MegaCon.
Yeah, just leave a comment.
Just
send
leave
me
a
message. We put all this clutter and insanity, but we didn't
We
drive
didn't really
out
put it here.
R2D2.
No, we didn't bring R2 out. They've seen him enough.
Yeah, he does make a lot of appearances. We didn't really put it out. This is just where it is.
Well, to be honest, we just got done filming.
That's true. So a lot of this is just where it is. We don't always leave this on the big screen, but we should.
This is only we filmed for Tom Toronto. We filmed the Tom Toronto show. That's why this is set up.
Yeah, the real estate show.
But then as we were cleaning up, it got to be a mess. But we had his logo up there for that, and then before that, we were filming. His employee was given an introduction, and that was a green screen setup. So everything kind of got to be a bit of a mess. And yes, I was dressed like this while I was working. Tom's great though, because he was playing with it. He asked for. He said, "Can I have a lightsaber before I go on?" Because
I don't even think that he knew that you had a lightsaber. He just asked for it, and of course you would have it.
He said, "Can I have a lightsaber? Because I need to be inspired to do my show." And I said, "Well, yeah." And I went and got it. And he's like, "Well, what about a stormtrooper helmet?" Yeah, we'll bring that out.
It's Halloween. So every day is Halloween.
There's who's a great guy that does a lot of costumes. Adam Savage he's most famous from the MythBusters, but he does like a lot of Comic Cons and stuff where he's dressed up. And there's a Facebook meme that says, "Normal people dress up one day a year on Halloween." And then it showed Adam Savage dressed up. I can't remember. He was dressed up in some costume. It said Adam Savage is not a normal person. Just a little hero of mine. So, hey.
You do mention a lot.
He's great.
I can see that.
He does things, and he gets it done. That's what we do.
That's true. He glues a lot of stuff to other stuff. And I know that's inspired you.
I glue a lot of things to a lot of other things.
Yeah.
It's true.
Well, I think maybe we need to wrap it up.
It's been so fun. I just don't want it to end.
Well, okay, we could do this again, possibly. Okay. So don't be sad. But I appreciate anybody who's gone through it. And let us know if we need to do more of these and what you would like us to cover. So let's call it a day.
Bye.
See ya. See ya.
Business impacting the Space Coast, where Brevard gets down to business. Sponsored by Ideal Impact Media, your partner in video marketing and brand storytelling.